So the next thing to do is to understand the various elements of the nav menu so that you can tell what you're going to be editing when you are adjusting things. And the first thing is the overall menu. Now the overall menu is this. It starts on this edge. In this case, since it's left aligned, it starts on this edge and it goes all the way over to the far edge, because that's how Thesis automatically lays the menu out. The automatic Thesis menu is the full width of the available page. So even though the menu items don't fill it up, this whole thing is the menu. And that is the overall menu. So it's essentially a wrapper around the menu proper. Then the next part of the menu is the typical menu item styles. So the typical menu items are these things here, right? This is a menu item. Home is a menu item. Demo 1 is a menu item. Demo 2, category columns, mommy blogger. Each of these are menu items. And the typical menu item is the style that applies to all of the menu items unless you tell it to do something otherwise. So, in other words, it's typical. It applies to every menu item. Well, you actually have a choice to have atypical menu items as well. And in particular, you can choose to have typical items and then customize the first menu item separately. You can do the first or the last menu item separately, or you can even choose to customize every menu item separately. And so if you choose to customize each menu item separately, you'll have some typical settings that will apply to all of them, and then you'll have the specific individual settings that will apply to the individual menu items. This menu we had last week, we had a left menu item, a right menu item, and then the typical menu items. And so that's how we got the two different ends on this menu. Then the next thing you have is the submenu. Now the submenu styles apply uniformly to all of the submenus, and actually there aren't any submenus on this menu, but the submenu is the menu that drops down below. And so if you're looking at these, this stuff down here is the submenu. These are all elements of the submenu. And so you can stylize the submenu items separately from the menu items. And then finally what you have is the menu text. Now you've got the menu text. We have three different types of text here. We've got the default Thesis text, which is what you're seeing right now. That's the default Thesis text. And then you have the potential span text style, which is text that would be wrapped in span tags inside of the menu. And then you have submenu text styles, so you can also create a separate style of text for your submenu. And we'll talk about that more as we talk about how this thing is constructed. So you've got overall menu styles, typical menu styles, atypical menu item styles, submenu styles, and menu text styles. And those are all of the elements of the menu that you can be styling with this plugin. Now, because this is the Thesis navigation menu, you'll have a whole bunch of design options that apply to the nav menu as well. Right? So you've got font type or the font style, you've got the font size, you've got the link text, current link, and current parent link text color. So these are the text colors. These are the background colors. And then you've got a border width, a border color, and then a submenu width. Now the way this works is that my suggestion is to set everything that you can in design options first. And then once you've got, say, your link text colors and background colors and that kind of stuff the way you want it, then if you need to override something, you can override it using the plugin styles. But you start off by doing what you can in Thesis design options, and then move on to the plugin to augment the Thesis design options. And so, for example, The only thing you can do with text here is set the text color and set the font style and set the size. Well, the nav menu plugin gives you the opportunity to also change the default text letter spacing. It comes 2 pixels by default, but you could get rid of that if you want. You can remove the all cap style. You can center the menu text, and you can make the menu text bold. So there's these additional styles that you can apply to your menu text, to the Thesis menu text, but you want to set the menu text in Thesis first and then come back and make these changes after that. So that's how the relationship is. You want to work in design options first, and then once you're done doing what you can do in design options, then you come on over to the plugin and make those changes.